Hello everyone, welcome to episode 21 of the Ashton Gate 8. That's 3 weeks of consecutive uploads for me. That is unheard of, to be honest. And I wanted to start just on this screen. We are on the 6th of December 2025. I wanted to start on the screen just to have a little look, just to see what's going on, but it also hides what's been going on. Dislike of Xavi. Why do I dislike Xavi? Okay. How funny is that? I get described as a football terrorist. Xavi, Klopp, Guardiola, and Arteta and Allegri are all in my my hated, my worst opinion. Apparently, Carlo Ancelotti and Matty James like me though. That's quite nice. Nice one, Carlo. Is he still the manager? 170 grand a week. Good lord. Anyway, tactical consistency was like the highest I've ever seen on my profile. But obviously now we're changing it up. Managing finances 100%. I wish that was true in real life, but it's not. And yeah, we've done well. Obviously, the last episode you saw was the Newcastle fixture where we won 1-0, where we had changed everything up. And if I just click on the home screen now, I've done that thing that I said that I hate, where someone disappears and all of a sudden they're like third in the league. It's sod's law. It's come back to bite me. It's sod's law that it's happened, but it's happened because of, this is where the tactical switch was. We were 19th, and you can see we've just steadily climbed and climbed and climbed. Some massive, massive victories. If you look at the games we played, we obviously Newcastle at the bottom. We then went to Man City and beat them at the Etihad. A 3-0 home win against Brighton, just 3 back-to-back scalps. 1-0 loss to Arsenal. We got battered. We were lucky it was 1-0, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe the wheels will come off again. But they literally just kept going. 1-0 Sheffield United, 2-1 against Leeds, 3-0 against Wolves, 1-1 Brentford, 1-0 Southampton, and then the big one was a 3-1 win against Everton, who were up there at the top of the table. They are having some season under Sean Dyche. There was a red card in that game. Sherlando Becker got sent off, but Everton reverted to this 4-2-3-1. Calvert-Lewin already on 14 goals for the season, and we're only on the 6th of December. And their team's not incredible. Got like Beto, Calvert-Lewin, Neubel, Patterson, Godfrey, Branthwaite, Mikalenko. Not the best defence. Amadou Onana is not getting game time, and that's one that I wanted to keep an eye on. I really do like Amadou Onana as a footballer. But it's Davy Klaasen's back there. But what it leads to, obviously Doucouré, who didn't come to us, they didn't manage to shift on. But what it leads into is the squad building aspect of it, and that's obviously something I went on about in a previous video. And I feel like we've built a squad here that is just capable. I said on our day we can beat anyone. There are 2 massive games coming up against Chelsea and Arsenal, but we are going to do West Ham and Chelsea. Arsenal, I can't really see us picking up another victory, although they are quite low down in the form table and therefore the Premier League table. But if we just look, obviously, I like looking at the statistics. The XG table has us in 11th. So it's saying our XG, we're outperforming it by 1. XG against, we're outperforming it by 8. So we've conceded 8 less goals than we should have done and picked up 8 more points than we should have done. And I think that goes down to rotating between Tarnavanu and Horn. Horn has come back in for the last 2 games because obviously towards the end of November and then into December, you just get games ticking fast. So Tarnavanu has been rotated in and out. 5 clean sheets in his 10 games so far this season. Timo Horn has got 1 clean sheet in his 7. So it leads a lot to Tarnavanu being the starter, which obviously we will go back to. But this is pretty much not Diaz. It's been Ronald, and it's not been Cannon. It's been Greenwood. This is pretty much the starting 11 it's been. I was very critical of Veldon Hodzer when we looked at him in yesterday's video, but he's actually just performed so well. If we look at his form, he's been fantastic as an anchorman. As a DM, he did well. And then we moved him over to the other side to be the anchorman and dropped Estrada. And he's just performed very well. Obviously, he doesn't like big games, apparently. He's not very consistent. But he's been really good for me, and I can't really complain. And then Franz Kratzik, we've made his loan move permanent because he's just He's happy being a squad player. He's happy being a backup player. But in the 9 games he's played, he's got 3 assists. He's got 1 assist and 1 goal in the Carabao Cup, a 7.0 average rating. The scouts don't really rate him all that much. And if we compare him with Borza, they're quite similar in a way. And the problem I've got with Borza is he's injured an awful lot. If we look at his medical report here, you'll see when we signed him, he sprained his knee ligaments. He was out for 6 weeks, then done his leg 6 days, done his ankle, done his Achilles on his other foot, and then done his ankle again. He's apparently below average for injury susceptibility, but he is getting injured a lot, and he's only really performing averagely in the league. He is now classed as a wonder kid. He's worth about 73 to 104 million. So this is obviously the type of player that if a big offer come in, we would let him go. We obviously, again, we speak about squad building and what we want to do. That was why we brought Kratzik in on loan just as backup. But if a big offer comes in for Borza, we've got Kratzik, who is just, I think he's fantastic. I think he's been absolutely brilliant for us. Kratzik can come in, and then obviously we've got Charlie Frith down out on loan, I should say, but down in the under 21s, who can come in, and it just makes sense to me. I just think we've built a good squad. We've built a good team. There's a few younger players, Ad Aslam being one of them, whose personality has now changed and he's improving a bit more. Kyle Yates went from low determination to balance. His determination jumped up to 6, so he should start just getting a little bit better. Harry Bond has been playing as an attacking midfielder this season, and if we compare his last season, so I did get asked the question about if it shows substitute appearances. If it's a year that the game has been in, so like 23-24, you can see at the bottom whether he's made a sub appearance, a league appearance, whatever. Non-competitive is obviously the under 21s, under 18s. So Harry Bond in the under 21s last season, playing as a DM exclusively, 2 goals, 4 assists. So far this season, 2 goals, 2 assists as an attacking midfielder. He is just, the Fijian is just doing very, very well. So we've sort of stumbled upon something again here. It's happened a few times. We've got quite lucky with it. Trevor Grinsell is now starting to perform for Cambridge. I think that comes pretty much with the fact that Steve Cooper is now their manager. He has changed up the way they play. He's playing in like this DM role as a segundo volante for them. And you know what? He's doing very, very, very well there. Elijah Morrison, obviously on loan from us as well, is doing quite well there too. He has got 1 goal, 2 assists, but has only started playing a lot more consecutive games since Steve Cooper went in there. And Lincoln have become one of our affiliate clubs. I'm just mentioning it because obviously Trevor is out on loan in League One. Lincoln are going to get promoted. They're top of the league. If we look, look at this. Everyone's loving it. The supporters are still daft because they don't think we're playing direct football, but you've seen it. We're on much more direct. With a large percentage of goals coming from long balls played. I think it's a bit silly. I think it's a bit broken, to be honest. But if we look at the club info and the affiliated clubs, obviously Guernsey are on there as they're in real life. We've got Tranmere as a League 2 affiliate. Obviously, we do loan players out there. Rosiak and Kamara out there at the moment, both playing very, very well down there. And then that leads us into the League 1 team being Lincoln. Lincoln top of League 1. If we have a little look. Oh, they've dropped down, actually. They were top of League 1, but doing very well in the promotion places, still being managed. No, Jesse Marsh is gone. What? Where's Jesse Marsh gone? Jesse Marsh has gone to Birmingham. Good Lord. Well, and Phil Parkinson's gone from Wrexham to Lincoln. Well, that throws a spanner in the works of the squad building that I was trying to show. Oh, my God, he's changed up their tactic completely. That is not good. Oh, that's not good. Raekwon Nelson's not getting game time though, is he? You absolute rat. Not even selected. We need to recall him if we can. Oh dear. What about the Scott then? Because he was starting to perform. He's still getting selected. Oh dear, we need to recall Rayquan Nelson as soon as we can. That is disappointing, to be honest with you. But we kind of settled on this. Seiko has come in for the time being as my boy Fallou Diouf is on AFCON duty with Senegal. He's played one game, did well. How have they been getting on, actually? Mini league playoff. They drew with Zambia. Um, Still managed by Aliou Cisse. I've still got a very good team. And there you go. He's playing next to Kalidou. Oh no, he's not. Where's he been benched? Oh goodness me, he's been benched now for this game. But you can see sort of the green shoots. Oh, I mean, obviously, I say green shoots. We've implemented the style, a tactical change, and kept sort of the way we want to play, and it's just working. I can't really say much more. Hayden Roberts is about to sign a new contract to stop Fulham from sniffing around him. 7.8 average rating. Kratzik 7.26. Greenwood a 7.13. He's been rotating a lot with Christian Eriksen in this attacking midfield role. If we look at his form, he plays different positions and in different games. We sort of rotate it and chop him about. But you know what? He seems to perform very well as an attacking midfielder. I mean, advanced forward, he's got one assist. Before that, it was, 2 goals against Palace. Other than that, all his goals and assists have pretty much come as an attacking midfielder. He also scored the goal at the Etihad, which I thought was lovely. We've just built an amazing squad. I'm very happy with it. Christian Eriksen was just an unbelievable pickup. 9 stamina. I looked at his physical attributes when we were looking at him and thought, you know what, he's not maybe up to scratch, but he has had some sort of career renaissance at us. He only started 2 games for Man United last year. Obviously, Manchester United, now managed by Diego Simeone. We look at their tactic. They've got Bruno Fernandes in the attacking midfield role, as you'd expect. So he wasn't going to get a lot of game time there. But he's come to us. We've changed him up to an advanced playmaker and is just performing out of his skin. And an average rating in the Premier League of a 6.99, 3 assists. There's been a couple of games where he's looked a bit jaded. Obviously, and you can see we've been bringing him off at half-time a lot just to try and manage his fitness. But he just offers so much to the club, including like the mentoring. If we click on the mentoring groups, he has now got George Morgan and Ad Aslan. He changed Ad Aslan's personality within about 2 minutes of him being in the mentoring group. I just love him. He's a fantastic player. He's doing very, very well for us, and he's leading us on to glory, essentially. I forgot to mention, as well as Franz Kratzik coming in, we have also signed a couple of other players. We'll go through in order then. Halimar Ekdal is coming in from Burnley. He's not playing for them at all this season, but a model citizen personality, 27 years of age for 1.7 million. I do like the look of him. The scouts actually quite like him as well. He's good in the air, full and standing, model citizen, impressive judgment. He's consistent, a couple of positions. He can play in a few positions. He can play sort of defensive midfield, in through centre midfield, centre back, right back. He gives us a lot of cover. Also, if you look, last season, he literally didn't play at all. So I don't know if he was injured. I can't find his medical history. No, so he wasn't even injured. He hardly gets injured. He just wasn't playing. We had a little look in the Premier League for Burnley that season that they did really, really well to stay up. 30 games, 17 starts, 13 off the bench, 6.73 average rating. I like him. I think value for money wise, it makes sense. It also allows us to potentially move somebody on and make a bit of money. Maybe someone like Estrada. Obviously, Ben Mee will be going out at some point. Eduard Kozic is just not. He's just not up to it. He's played a couple of games, not really performed. We obviously signed him when we were in the Championship, thinking he'd be a Championship player. He's not got what it takes to be a to be a Premier League player. So he's coming in. I thought that was a good addition. Bryce Wembangomo is coming in from Bodo Glimt. Look at the physicals on him. We do need a proper right back. At the minute, we do only have Bush, who is ours, who has been dropped completely from Malo Gusto. He still made 7 starts, but I think he will just be happy being like a rotation option, whereas Bryce coming in, I think he's just physically, he's there. If you look at his history for Bodo Glimt, he starts an awful lot last season and the season before. Doesn't get a lot of assists, bearing in mind. He has this season done quite well there, but average rating wise, he hits our benchmark. He's 28 years of age, he's in his prime, he doesn't want to play a lot. Physically, he's amazing. He's a willing runner, he's a good tackler, he offers us cover. He can also play left back, it makes sense. Obviously, Kratik's coming in, and then Matej, or Mati, however you want to say it, Matej Sin is coming in from Baník Ostrava in the Czech leagues. He's played 19 games this season in the league with 4 assists, a 7.07 average rating. Is going to come in as the advanced playmaker to actually cover for Eriksson. Obviously, Eriksson can't be around forever. His natural fitness is quite good, but I think Matty being 21, coming in for the fee that he's coming in for, I think it was £5 million up front, if I'm correct. It is £5 million up front over the course of the 3 seasons of the game. Has been very, very consistent. If you look down the bottom here, obviously my big fat head's in the way, but 26 appearances, 3 goals, 8 assists his first season, 26 appearances, 1 goal, 4 assists in the league the year before, and this season, 19 league appearances, 4 assists, consecutive 7s. The lowest average rating he's had is a 7. A left footer, we don't have many left footers, so it offers us something different. Good vision, good passing, good flair. Again, he's only 21. They do think he's got like another 2 stars of potential in him, and the only issue he's got is that he doesn't have a good jumping reach. So, again, value for money, we talk about that an awful lot. He makes sense. He makes sense, and he hits all the benchmarkers that we look for when we sign a player. So let's get on to West Ham. West Ham, who are under new management, under the manager of Steve Potts at the moment. He's the caretaker because David Moyes has left, and those who follow me on social media will have already seen this. David Moyes has left to go and manage Poland. Why David Moyes has left to go and manage Poland, I don't know. So we've got a caretaker manager, West Ham to contend with, whose team is very indifferent. A lot of aging players playing out of position, not performing all too well. Obviously, someone like Lucas Paqueta is still doing very, very well there. But, I mean, no one there to set the world alight. Obviously, that's famous last words, and they're now going to beat us. But I just thought that was interesting. They think we should put Estrada, Horn, and Di Pietri in. I disagree. And we've got an intake, a preview of the youth intake here. Giorgio Chiellini, in his first youth intake, went on a coaching course and got better. Obviously, we're not going to have amazing youth intakes every single season, but he thinks there's a couple of wide midfielders, maybe like wingers. Obviously, a lot of the times wingers can become strikers, so an average intake is fine. We did obviously have an amazing first youth intake, and we did have players in like Ronald Jones and Charlie Frith generated at the start of the game, so I can't complain with that. Warrington, 2 to 3 days, that's fine. I'm just thinking for like this West Ham game, obviously we mentioned Greenwood seems to perform better as an attacking mid at the moment than he does as a striker. I'm actually going to start trading him as an attacking midfielder then. He seems to perform better as an attacking midfielder. Obviously, we've got a big game coming up against Chelsea next, so I think we drop Eriksson out. Tom Cannon's been scoring a fair few goals for us now. He's up to 3. I say fair few, but he's been performing well. I think he is just mainly a poacher now rather than attacking an advanced forward, but that's fine by me. Ishmael Diaz is chipping in with a lot of goals from the left flank now. He starts performing well. Francelinho Gio has only got 2 in the league. But for Portugal, he's absolutely smashing them in. They play him as a complete forward, so we've started training him up on that just to see how he goes. Do you know what? I might give him the start because Cannon got the start against Everton. I think we go with that. And then it obviously allows Eriksson to have his rest. So West Ham, again, a lot of ageing players. I'm not quite sure how to take them there. We'll see how the game goes. There's me shaking his hand nice. In his nice suit, he's happy. He's happy to be the caretaker manager. the West Ham caretaker's having the time of his life managing at the London Stadium. A big tackle straight away by Ronalds. Ronalds and Kratzig have just formed some sort of mad partnership down the left-hand side there. James Ward-Prowse, 1 minute and 10 seconds in. That's not concerning in the slightest. Ward-Prowse. I said famous last words, didn't I? I did say famous last words. They're saying Bowen might have been off because he might have been on Tarnavanu there. Nah, they've given it. That's the way. I knew the minute I said they look a bit naff. I knew he's standing on him. How was he not interfering? Lads, come on. Oh dear. Oh dear. Lads. Come on now. Obviously, I'm not expecting us to keep picking up the level of points we have and the volume of points. I think based on what I've seen from the league, oh my God, they won the header again. Oh my God. We're 4 minutes in and we should be 2-0 down. Ward-Prowse with the corner again. Hodds are away. Well done, Mason. Yeah, from looking at the league, I think anything over 30. Goodness me. I said it. I said it would be famous last words, didn't I? I don't even want to look at it back. Yeah, anything over 30 points, I think safe. Leeds, Southampton and Borough not doing well. We're obviously up on 28 points, I think we're on now. 28 points, sitting in 6th place. Getting absolutely battered by West Ham here. New manager bounce, maybe? I don't know. They weren't performing very well. They've scored off a set piece and a cross. That's our game. And we've not laid a glove. We've not had a shot. We have got less possession. All we've done is foul them. So, what do you do? I think this is going to be about 5-0 West Ham. I really do. We look all sorts of disjointed, and I don't know why, because this is literally the team, bar that one change up top, that starts most games. We cannot get out. Pinyev has already scored one. And Tarnavanu, just hold the ball, lads. You're just punching everything. Just hold the ball. Ward-Prowse, they've already scored one from this side. Back out to Ward-Prowse. What are we doing? Hodds are away, and Francelinho needs to just hold it up. Have a bit of respite from... Yeah, a bit of respite from... Look at that. Look at the match facts. Hey, it looks like we're going forward. Jesus, tonight. There's Ronald. Back to Seiko. Hodza. Cozy Dubry. Can we actually create something? Gusto looking for Greenwood. Back to Freuler. Gusto on the overlap. Gusto, get it in low. Gusto across the box. It's pushed right. Oh, it's bounced about. And Pizarro puts it away for the throw-in. I cannot believe this half. This is the worst I have ever performed on Football Manager in a half. It's absolutely outrageous how poor that was. I don't think there's a single player that deserves to stay out there. Eriksen's coming in, advanced playmaker. Francelinho is going to come off. Ronald is going to come off. I can't bring him off. And we're going to bring Estrada on. There's 4 subs at half-time. Tom Cannon as a poacher. Let's just get him in there. So starting the second half with 4 substitutions. Again, I don't think it's tactically. Obviously, West Ham have done a number on us, but I think the personnel that were out on the pitch were just not... They just weren't doing anything, to be honest with you. Defensively, they were fine. They scored off a set piece and then a rebound, the second phase of a set piece. and they've just controlled the game. So I can't really complain, to be honest, because they've been... I mean, what is that? The pass alone is shocking. Never mind the touch. He just played him into trouble. He was asking for trouble there, playing that pass to him. And it's going to be 3. It's Penyaev, it's 3. I just gave the goal he was on. Just give the goal, he was onside. Just give it. Let's chalk it up. One of them games, nothing you can do. Let's get Man and Bush on. Let's see the game out. I've not really got a lot to say, to be honest. Very, very poor. But considering the position we're in and the fact that we are a newly promoted team and the teams who were promoted last season and someone like Middlesbrough, who it was in Middlesbrough Leeds 1 or 2, who went up like the year before, are struggling so badly. It was always going to take teams a little while to get used to the way we're playing again. We obviously changed up completely to what we normally do. It's Tom Cannon intercepts, so that's quite good. Here's Diaz. We might get 1 goal. It's a consolation if we do. And Tom Cannon drags it wide. But you see the nice little bit of play there. The only decent bit of play for the entire game. To be honest with you, West Ham are deserved winners here. It doesn't bode well for the fact that we've then got to go and face Chelsea, who are near the top of the table. I think they actually were top of the table going into this game week. So it doesn't quite bode well. Tom Cannon gets up. It's another shot on target. Do you know what? At least he's getting shots on target. That's all I can say, to be honest with you. Time's just ticking away. We're not creating much. There's a few really tired legs out there, and that's kind of the problem when it comes to December. But obviously we had a lot of these lads in the Championship who had to cope with this schedule all season. So hopefully the adaptability is there, and the fact that we're quite well versed in it. We are not getting near them. Well done, Diaz. The midfield there were nowhere near West Ham. Your left wingers having to come back and win a tackle. There's Cozy Dewberry. That's a tremendous ball for Diaz, whose header goes right back across. Couple of lads showing a bit of fight. West Ham have battered us. That's all I can say on that one. We've been absolutely battered. Roberts gets his new bumper contract with a big pay rise amidst transfer speculation to Fulham, and then he just gives up and drops in a 6.3. Tanavanu dropping his worst performance in a Bristol shirt. Again, it's sod's law. I said, didn't I? I don't know how West Ham are going to play. I don't know most of their players. I don't know their manager. And then they go and absolutely tonk us. Our worst defeat of the season, and the most amount of goals we've conceded since the Palace game, which was the game before last episode was recorded. 3 goals conceded. We don't concede a lot now. That's one thing that we did obviously try and address. But this game has just, they battered us. They scored when they had their chances. 2 goals in the opening 5 minutes, I think, killed us. I think if it was at 1 goal, we probably could have got back into it. Just going to tell them they weren't good enough. So that result drops us down to 6th in the league. Steve Potts has just, he's just absolutely done a number on us. Our 6 matches in a row without defeat comes to an end. And as I say, you can see in that whole time, we've only conceded 3 goals, and then that game makes it 6. So yeah, we've got Chelsea next. They sit in 4th, a home game. On our day, we can beat anyone at Ashton Gate. Hopefully we perform a lot better than we did there. There's another injury for Timo Horner, who obviously has been dropped now to sort of be the backup goalkeeper with Tanavanu coming in. I was potentially going to rotate Because Tarnavani didn't perform well at all in the last match, but Timo Horn's injury problems are just starting to. They're starting to get the better of him now. He's 32. I don't know whether it's time to try and sell him on. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, to be completely honest, and is obviously one of the team leaders, something which we did try and address in the transfer window. If you have a little look, Eriksson, Horn, and Cannon, we now have some highly influential players in there as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. Van Atloon's going to be terminated soon. Ben Mee, he said he was fine. He said he was happy playing there. Oh, Ben, you're going to have to go then, Ben Mee. And Warrington's wanting to go, that's fine. But yeah, the injuries are starting to get the better of Timo now. I think it's quite frequent, and they're like muscular injuries. It's like his body's breaking down a bit, getting a bit old. So he's worth about 20 million, I think they're saying. So if we can sell him on, get some good money in for him, we obviously have a Conquo out on loan at Lincoln. There's a potential to bring a Conquo back, or we go into the market and look for another goalkeeper. Just to act as like the foil or the backup, or we could even go left field and have Tarnavanu as the backup still, and bring in like a proper. Why is Eriksson not on penalties usually? I've lost my train of thought. Bring in like a proper goalkeeper. Maybe we'll see. I was just adding Francelinho into the immense run group with Eriksson. George Morgan's doing well, by the way. He's the lad we got from Everton, who they released and didn't look like he was going to do good. I think he can be very good. I think he's got a lot about him. I've said it a few times now. He's a star and a half. I think we need to get him a nice development loan, probably somewhere like Tranmere. Obviously, cancel the transfer. I hate that rule. Because most teams, like the lower league teams, if I remember correctly, can still sign people on loan, so it's a bit stupid. We did lose McFarlane, one of our scouts. He went over. I can't remember where he went to, but he left. So we have put an advert out, and a few people have come back. Mario Vossen being the best of former Gladbach chief scout. But what I want to try and do is have a look and see if there's any. I mean, look at all of these. He makes more sense, and he's got an extensive knowledge of England. So Flavio Costa, I think he's going to be our new scout, Flavio Costa, and he will come in and take over the scouting duties. A couple of changes. Di Pietri's kicked off, saying he thinks he should start more games. They obviously do think he is our best right winger, but the attributes are suggesting he's not, so he doesn't play. And I told him I'll just sell him. I told him I'd sell him, and he's back down. So, we got away with that one. But Martin Bush has to play. Centre back wise, Seko, I think, is going to start. Conway's on the bench there. I don't know why. Let's get him off of there. Is there anyone else we can stick on there? Let's stick George Morgan on the bench, and let's put Andre Borza back in the match day squad. We do obviously have a couple of players who can play at centre back. Estrada's one of them. Hodzer can play there, like in and around the squad. So we don't necessarily need to have a centre back on the bench. Ben Mee is now transfer listed and wanted by a couple of different teams. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. Shackleton, Francelinho, we won't start. He seems to be better off the bench. Greenwood can start up front. It's a big game. He is our best attacker. So we need to play that as it is. So the starting lineup is exactly as you saw. We're sticking with sort of what we know, and using the players where we know. I think maybe Greenwood's not quite versed in playing as the attacker midfielder yet from the start. think maybe he's better sort of dropping down there later on in the game, but he's actually got a very good relationship with Francelino Jew. They tend to assist each other, or they link up very well, which allows other players in. Chelsea's team then, kind of what you'd expect. Romeo Lavia starts this game though, instead of Gallagher. Sterling plays out wide instead of Mudryk. Lukaku is back in as their starting striker. And I'm just going to tell them I want to see a marked improvement, and I think that's quite indicative of how we've performed and how much we've pressed on in a game against Chelsea, rather than it being there's no pressure, anything like that. The suggested team talk is you need to improve on last time, and every single one of them's motivated, especially at home. I genuinely think at home we can beat anyone. I really, really do. There's Ben Chilwell, Saicedo. Chilwell skipping through a couple of challenges. Ben Chilwell, he did really well. And Seko, the Japanese with the block. We get a lot of Japanese players, don't we? In Kunku's corner. It's a lofted delivery towards Lukaku, and it's headed away. And Cozy Dubry can bring us forward. I hate that highlight. Just play. Just show some sort of counter attack. Never does. Now here's Chilwell again. Chelsea, obviously, having a lot of the ball. Eriksen with a good tackle there. Here's Nkunku. Kratzig's tackle. Comes back to Nkunku. Going across to Saicedo. Obviously, Chelsea have got an amazing team. Sterling's effort. Good save, Tarnavanu. Gets down low for the big man. He gets down quickly as well. Chilwell's corner. Headed away again. Lavia back in, Tarnavanu claims. And that's what he wasn't doing in the last match. He was parrying and punching an awful lot, Tarnavanu. It's 10 minutes in. We've not really had a lot of the ball, which is fine, but we've not really made anything. So I don't know whether this is we need to tinker a bit. Oh, here's Bush with a throw. He loves a long throw. Roberts back to Bush. Man and Bush. Round us, man. Oh, it's a good delivery. But he didn't pick a red shirt. Freuler, lovely ball. Chilwell heads back to Kepa, good defending. Man and Bush there with a golden opportunity to just pick one of the red shirts out who were in the box. They're playing short, aren't they, off goal kicks? So we're going to stick our favourite on. Enzo to Nkunku. Lavia. Intercept that. He does. Well done, Hodza. Cozy Dubry, Bush on the overlap. He's cut inside Cozy Dubry. Seko. Hodza. Freuler. There's a ball through. He uses Ronald. Ronald running at his man and finding Kratzig. And ball across to Cozy Dubry. Shots blocked. Here's Freuler. Oh, tip wide by Kepa. Freuler yet to score for us, but has come close on several occasions now. Kratzig will take this corner. It's a nice lofted one. Badiashile heads out for a corner on the opposite side now. This is better. This is better. We're starting to create a bit more. We don't need a lot of the ball. We just need to use it well. Kepa's short kick to Fofana. Pressed quickly by Greenwood. Enzo. Ooh. Lavia. Saicedo. Chelsea broke the press very well there. And here's Lukaku. Nkunku. Plays it back to Lavia, knocks it forward again. And Nkunku's won that header. Lukaku's won that header. And Tarnavanu has to make the save. I just noticed that as they played that short to Enzo, we just didn't press him. So I'm just going to press Enzo and tackle him. Actually, let's actually assist him now. Yeah, I agree with that. We didn't get it, Enzo, at all off that goal kick. And he dallied slightly. It was Freuler who was up with him. So I think, Brighton are winning. West Ham are winning again. I think pressing Enzo a little bit more and actually going into him off goal kicks. West Ham are flying. Bloody hell. Off goal kicks. It is going to pay dividends eventually. There will be some sort of mistake from that Chelsea midfield there. And since those changes to the opposition instructions, Chelsea don't seem to have done an awful lot. Let's just drop a little encourage in there. They're doing well. They're doing quite well. Here's Ronald. Trying to make something happen for us. He's trying to find Cozy Dubry. It's not a good ball at all. But Hodgson picks it back up. Man and Bush. Cozy Dubry. Freuler. Through to Man and Bush. Get it in first. Oh, it's an awful delivery. And Greenwood makes it happen. And Christian Eriksen scores. Oh, Man and Bush should have played it first time low to Greenwood. He messes his cross up. But Mason Greenwood just makes something happen. That pass by Freuler is brilliant. That cross is dreadful. But he keeps it alive, Greenwood. Smashes it hard and low. And Christian Eriksen, who I mentioned earlier on, what a player. What a player he's been for us. He's been absolutely fantastic, Christian Eriksen. Chelsea look to equalise straight from kickoff with Raheem Sterling. Man on Bush has to be careful. That's a brilliant tackle from Man on Bush. Hodgson gives it away. Sterling to Enzo. Just over the bar from Enzo Fernandez. Man on Bush with a long throw from the side. He's done short to Roberts. Back to Bush. Back to Roberts. Hayden Roberts. And Freuler. Oh! Romeo Freuler. He went for some sort of weird outside of the foot number. He didn't need to do that. Just get your shot on target. And as we roll into half-time, Bristol City are ahead 1-0. We're playing well. Cozy Dubry, there's a couple of slightly below average performances. Man on Bush doesn't seem to be performing, but the rest of the defence are. Man on Bush not performing well, and obviously Malo Gusto only being on loan is the reason we looked for a right back on the cheap. Obviously managed to get the guy from Bodo Glimt on a pre-contract. Freuler, this highlight hasn't ended yet, as Eriksen looks to go through, and Eriksen's found Cozy Dubry. Oh! It's not often you see a kickoff, second half kickoff highlight last. Eriksen, what can you pick out? Good delivery, please. It's cracking. Oh, Seko doesn't follow the ball in. Kratzig. I think Lukaku fouled him there, but not given. Ben Chilwell for Chelsea. Now Lavia. Over the top and through for Raheem Sterling. Can he pick a ball? He can. It's Enzo Fernandez. We come out. We stepped up. Not something I encourage, really, from our lot. But I think Man and Bush needs to come off now. He's lost his man again. So Jamie Shackleton's going to come in at right back. And I think another change on the right wing there. Cozy Dubry is not looking... we'll give him another couple of minutes. And then we'll change it. We'll make a couple of changes, I think. Just give them an encourage. They've played well. Oh, there you go. Fofana to Enzo Fernandez. Reece James to Wesley Fofana. Lavia. Chilwell. Cozy Dubry intercepts. And then just gives it away. He's not played well, Cozy Dubry. And Nkunku. Back to Reece James. Closed down quickly. Falls back to Nkunku. And Tarnavanu makes the save. We're on 60 minutes. We're going to make some subs now. They're saying Freuler because he's been booked, but that's just a bit silly, really, isn't it? Cozy Dubry off then. I'm going to keep Eriksen out there, you know. I'm going to keep Eriksen out there. We're going to bring Francelinho in as the complete forward. Seko's not performing. We'll bring Estrada on. And there'll be the changes. We do obviously still have a few more attacking changes in there, if need be. So again, it's just going to be a case of managing the rest of the game. I'm not bringing Freuler off because he's one off a suspension. I'd rather he got booked and takes the suspension for the next game than have to keep managing that. Hods is not performing now. Here's Greenwood with a very deep free kick. Looking for Freuler. Force for Francelinho. Ronald to Kratzig. Kratzig, hit it, son! Oh, why did he take the second touch? Oh, Kratzig. Why did he take that second touch? It just narrowed his angle. Ericsson, Estrada. Estrada's gone for it! Tip wide by Kepa. Let's pause it again. They've brought on Gallagher and Mudryk for Enzo and Nkunku. We'll take Kratzig off, bring Borza on. Ronald's doing well. Greenwood's still doing well. Hodds is not really performing. But there's not really anyone else I can bring him off for, to be completely honest. Do you know what? Ronald is having a good game, but we're going to bring Diaz on because Diaz has actually changed games for us recently. And then we're just going to go with that, I think. Going to go with that, see how this corner plays out. Couple of changes for both sides. Are we going to see it? We are going to see it. Borza, he's just on. Borza. Swings in his corner. Estrada's up. Fofana can clear. He's dallying a bit. Wesley Fofana, and the end the highlight there. Okay. A bit strange. There's Kepa. Short to Badiashile. Fofana and Gallagher. And same again, we're just not getting close to... Oh, there you go, Hodza, that's better. That's what I wanted. Just press him and tackle him. Borza to Diaz. Ismail Diaz. Looking for Ericsson. May as well just play the 1-2 with himself, but lost out again to James. Here's Lavia. That's a loose ball, and Saicedo did well. It was a really, really loose ball. Reece James. Sterling. Lavia. Lukaku dropping very deep. Saicedo, this is nice football by Chelsea. Conor Gallagher, out to Sterling. Acres of space, hits the post, and we get it away just. Here's Mudryk. Chelsea really piling the pressure on. Mudryk again, blocked by Hodza, Greenwood away, and Ericsson forward to Francelinho. The highlight still goes on. Here's Diaz, now Borza, and they just decide to end the highlights as we're countering. Fantastic, well done. Thank you, Sports Interactive. And let's change up the opposition instructions a bit then. We need to press Gallagher like we were doing. Because we, similarly to Enzo, we just left him there and they made something happen. Cameron Carter-Vickers plays for Chelsea. Okay. Okay. A draw here is a fantastic result, by the way. A draw here is a massive result. It's top of the league, Chelsea. We've had, you know what? Oh no, Reece James. Good block by Francelinho. Great block by Francelinho. Shackleton's done well in right back. He does perform well. Roberts again not performing. Since he's had that new contract, he's not really put in a shift. James with the corner then. Headed away by Diaz. And Estrada chasing down Saicedo. And intercepting well. He's a good player, Estrada. I like that he covers a few different positions as well. I do quite like him. Yeah, you can man mark Raheem Sterling. That's fine. Not long left then. We are in control, apparently. According to the stats, we are still in control of the game. We're doing quite well. We've got them at arm's length, really. They're not really threatening. Their goal was a very good goal, and it was just Bush switched off, really. Diaz now to Roberts. 8 minutes added on. And there's a lot of tired legs. Here's Freuler. Ericsson. Oh, that's a lovely ball. And Francelinho. That is really poor from Francelinho, to be honest. But that knock by Ericsson. Lovely pass through. I'm just going to watch all of it. I'm going to stick with it. Because again, I would claim this as something of a scalp. We're a newly promoted team who have got one of the lowest wage budgets and one of the lowest transfer spends and have actually turned a profit. And we are doing very well against a very good Chelsea team as it's headed away. Here's Lavia. Roberts closing them down. Cameron Carter-Vickers back to Yuri Alberto. Colwell to James. I'm looking at the clock. I need full time. Shackleton and Hudson get it away. And Francelinho is just going to carry it. There's seconds remaining at Ashton Gate. Carter Vickers is pressed. Badia Shield and David Coop blows a 1-1 draw against a very, very good Chelsea side. I will take that all day. Good performances from the lads, considering the defeat to West Ham, a very disappointing defeat to West Ham. So a point then leaves us in 8th. We do drop out of the European places, but again, I did say I think 30 points would see us safe. Middlesbrough, Wolves, Southampton, Brentford, Leeds, Palace and Sheffield United really all struggling. There's quite a significant gap between those guys. I mean, there's 10 points, 11 points between us and 14th. So we've stretched the gap. We've created a bit of a gap here. The Scott's injured again, man. What's up with them now? Torn calf muscle. Trevor Grinsell not performing well for Cambridge today. So, a few things to maybe think about. Obviously, this is the period where games come thick and fast. Like I said, there is a game against Arsenal and then Liverpool away, which I'm going to play off camera. Yeah, you can see what we've done. You can see we've changed the squad. We've changed the team. I genuinely think we can beat anyone at Ashton Gate. I think there against Chelsea, we were quite unlucky. They scored a very good goal. Didn't necessarily create a massive opportunity other than the goal, but the same could probably be said for us based on that. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 22. 22 episodes of this we'll have done. So yeah, episode 22 of the Ashton Gate 8 tomorrow. Thank you very much and take care.